Raise your fist to the air. Tunes brothers everywhere. Rockin' loud, feel the sound. Tunes brothers smashing ground. Whoa, rebels with guitars in hand. Raise your fist. Raise your fist.
Well, we a little systems hot hell, cheating on a halo.
Okay, welcome back into Tunes Brothers. I'm Rob. That is Scott. That is Ozzy, Lost His Mind. Lewis, Darren, Dave, Under Down. And Scott, what do we got going on?
You know, the intro song there, man, I still to this day don't know what the hell he's saying. But it sounds cool as shit anyway. Today, we are going to take a deep dive. Deep further back than probably some of these cats was born. We're going to hit the first band that is supposedly supposed to be the inventors of metal. And this would actually be the second metal album, Paranoid by Black Sabbath. And God only knows what they was strobing on when they made that damn album cover, brother. It was good, I can guarantee it. But this is a very, very interesting album. Hell, it sounded today, and a little bit I dabbled in it yesterday. Like I was listening to it in the damn 80s, man, or something. It ain't changed. Nothing's really changed at all about. I love this. I mean, I know it's early. It's 71, guys, 1971. The gritty, bluesy, raunchy, just raw, fuck you sound. I love it. That's me. Yeah, I could handle a little bit more polish, you know, is up to date, maybe with 80s production for something like this, but for what it was and what it caused, and to me, really how good it is. It's a fantastic fucking Black Sabbath album right here, man. Ozzy's vocals are spectacular. Their musicianship's insane. I've got about, believe it or not, I've got about 4 playlists off of this album, but that's it. Now, that's not saying that I don't like more of this album, but when we get to it, I'll get into that. But a solid album from Black Sabbath, their second album, their sophomore album, Paranoid. And I enjoyed it. Maybe not a couple, but the rest of it I enjoyed.
Louis.
Hey, how you doing? This album, I like it on a casual level. It's fun to listen to. I would say 5 of the 8 songs are generally well known to the public at large. I did some research because I couldn't figure out what the heck that was on the cover with the multi, exposure thing. And then it's supposed to be a pig a man dressed in a pig suit wielding a sword. I don't know if that silver thing in that helmet with the double eyes or whatever. I can't figure that part out. But the album was supposed to be called War Pigs, but the record company thought that might be a little bit too controversial.
Vietnamish.
The Vietnam War going on and everything. So I'm basically going to just tell you as we talk about each song that if I liked it or not or whatever. That's all I can really say. So my turns will be relatively quick after this.
All right. In addition to the record company not thinking it was a great time for an album called War Pigs. The title track had already been released prior to the album's completion, and it was a hit. So they also felt that that was a better fitting title to go with Paranoid rather than War Pigs because of that song's early success. Um, for me, overall, I kind of agree with Lewis. On a casual, I mean, if I just have it playing in the background, I'm okay with it. But like on a deep dive into the songs, I mean, this really, this listen just solidified to me that I'm probably going to be the individual who likes the songs that get released and probably not the biggest fan of the rest of the material. I mean, there are some that are in that mid-range C, on a A through F type rating scale that are in the C range. So not bad, but not as good as the stuff that got released. So that's where I could kind of stood.
Not something you want to listen to every day, bro.
No.
Yeah.
Down under.
Well, I am old enough to remember when this came out. I got their first album, Black Sabbath, and that Black Sabbath song scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was really into the horror stuff, so that was just like, whoa. Going back to this one, where do I start? It's nowhere near as good as I remember it being, and I don't know whether that's just time has played a part in that, but they're a bit like Darren said, that the songs that everyone knows are good, and the rest they probably played them in drop D, and that's probably about the ranking of them.
Yeah.
Okay. A couple of things before I give my take. Two of the names here were different on the North American release. The song War Pigs was titled War Pigs / Luke's Wall.
Yeah.
And the song George Clooney's Wear Boots was actually entitled Jack the Stripper / Clooney's Wear Boots. Yeah. Of course, I'm kidding. It's Fairies Wear Boots, but there's really no difference. Once in a while doing this, it's got its perks. Certainly Scott having me listen to things that were out of my comfort zone. And you kind of wonder, man, what was I thinking? And you kind of find something that you actually really like. This was not one of those times. I knew a handful of these songs. I can definitely see why they got, deemed the first metal band, but it's kind of, a lot of this has kind of got a psychedelic vibe to go along with it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely heavier than anything else that anybody else was doing that I've heard, with the exception of that one band that you brought up, Scott, that was technically supposed to be the first metal album that we kind of looked at, and it was a horrible piece of shit. I don't even remember the name of the band anymore.
That was
it's kind of what I expected, though. I mean, there's a reason why most of these bands I just never gravitated towards. But for the songs that they did release, they're really good songs. So,
yeah, and you got to look at the time and age of these albums too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have really easily done Ozzy Osbourne, Speak of the Devil. Now, you want to talk about one fantastic fucking live album. He sings all his Black Sabbath hits on that. The first release he made after Randy Rhoads' death. And it is fucking, the sound, the quality, everything's perfect. It's a whole different song. But
I want to throw a couple of bands at you guys and just get your perspective, because I kind of thought about this when I was listening. Obviously, Black Sabbath, absolute legend in rock and metal history. How much of that with bands like Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin were because of the time it came out? In other words, if you take Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath, and have them begin their career in the mid 70s, do they become as big as they were? I would say no. Based just solely on their early catalogs, the music does not stack up against mid 70s hard rock bands like Judas Priest and even Iron Maiden and stuff like that. It's so, I don't know how to describe it. It's so raw and unpolished. And I think it's only because it was such a shock to everybody, you know, coming over from obviously Europe to the States with this loud, obnoxious, you know, sounds. Are they as big of bands if they came out when there was more competition?
Yeah, I think so, because they're dark, deep, and heavy, and everybody was ready for this kind of shit. Everybody was ready for the Alice Coopers, the Kisses, the Sabbaths. Zeppelin kind of kicked it in this direction. Everybody was sick and tired of this free love, peace, hippie bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. And another thing, you know, Iron Maiden, they didn't put their first album out to 1980. They hadn't even been, you know, they're not even.
Yeah, but if you listen to Black Sabbath, you know, against Kiss's mid 70s, looking at Rock and Roll Over and Destroyer and Love Gun, and some of these other polished Alice Cooper albums and stuff, there's no comparison. I mean, this sounds like it was recorded in a garage.
Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of things are a lot of things are timing. You take a look at the Beatles, right? I mean, they came over here in '63 and it was something completely different. Same Elvis Presley. I mean,
yeah, I get that. That's definitely valid. But the difference to me is those bands you just listed have great songs.
right.
Black Sabbath, really, if you take away Paranoid, Iron Man, and maybe War Pigs, which are almost exclusively all their legendary hits are on this album, what do they got? What do they got? I mean, their career spanned like what, maybe 6-7 years?
Sweet Leaf, man, Children of the Grave, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Black Sabbath. Dude, that goes on and on, brother.
But
They
that's
hits on every album.
But that's because you're a fan. I could say, "Take Me,
No.
Mr. Steve." What I hear on the radio since I was a kid to this point, what I hear on the radio from Black Sabbath is Paranoid, Iron Man. That's it.
Right. But do polished bands even come out as polished as they are later on without the beginnings? Right. I mean, you hear
that's not my point. My point is Iron Man, is Paranoid, is War Pigs as big a deal if it comes out in Kiss's heyday and AC/DC's heyday and stuff? I don't think it does, because it doesn't measure up.
Right.
No, it doesn't.
I think one leads to the other.
Yeah. Well, I was to the second part of that, man. No, it doesn't. Because Black Sabbath started petering out around 74, 75, 76. Their albums were not selling. They were putting out then Never Say Die, Technical Ecstasy. Yeah, they wasn't as good, but it was time for change, and quick change, which was Kiss, AC/DC. These bands were coming fast.
Right.
And then Ozzy winds up getting fired by Black Sabbath. That's how Dio winds up in Black Sabbath, puts a shot of lightning in their ass.
But the dominoes that led to Ozzy being huge are insignificant here. My question is, if Black Sabbath puts their first album out when Kiss is already a success, when AC/DC's on the scene, when Judas Priest is on the scene, is Black Sabbath a big deal? Same with Led Zeppelin. I would say
so. I think so, just because of the name and the dirty, just the shit they sing about, man. You know, you're talking about cult shit here, bro. You know, I mean, even if it's not to the masses, you're still going to have one hell of a disturbed child following.
Sure.
Now, I don't. It's hard to say because you can't recreate time. But
No,
well, this is what I have to say.
I don't think they would be as big. But then the follow-up question: would those other bands be as polished if these bands didn't exist?
But how does that have anything to do with it?
All right.
The whole thing is turning back time and pushing Black Sabbath ahead. You're going to find that sound was out there without Black Sabbath in many different genres of music.
They got too much competition in the mid-70s.
You were going to get heavy eventually, no matter what. That's like saying if there was no Elvis, would there be rock and roll? You can't say that. That's completely, predicting that something never gets invented.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that those bands wouldn't exist, but would their sound be different? Right? I mean, would they be the ones that were less polished? Because
I could combat that with, does Kiss sound anything like Black Sabbath?
No.
Exactly. There you go.
They sounded a lot more disco on their early shit that was never released, right? I mean,
some of their shit does.
Okay, listen.
Hotter than hell.
Let Lewis chime in here.
Okay, this is the way I see it. To answer Rob's question, if Black Sabbath were to start their career at, let's say, the same time as Kiss, or when Kiss got known and everything, all the songs that Black Sabbath does or did would have a different sound. Yeah. They would upbeat the songs. They would maybe polish them. They'd be a little bit faster or whatever more. So that's the one thing that would happen if Black Sabbath were to start at a later point in life. What they sound like at that time was just something I guess, it was experimental. They were coming in, as Scott said, people got sick of the peace and love shit, everything else. So that's the sound they created at that time to fit not only what they want to do, but what the record companies would allow. So that's my perspective.
The production thing is valid. They're changing maybe their guitar tone and everything. I get all that. My point still being, would anybody consider them as big as they are if, fine, they got production that sounds like rock and roll, whatever. The songs themselves, when you're talking about Electric Funeral, Jack the Stripper, Hand of Doom, Rat Salad, would these songs have propelled them to the same heights had they started with all this other great competition? They had no competition when they started for this genre of music. So they're going to be the biggest.
Yeah, they had a little bit, but not much. Not much.
I mean, imagine if half of these thrash bands came along and made it big before Metallica. Would Metallica be Metallica? I don't think so. When you're inventing a sound, that person, that band, that artist, to me, is always going to be the biggest and most revered throughout history because they were the creators. Doesn't mean they were good. It just means they were the creators. That's the way I look at it.
It doesn't mean that they're the best, no. But they created it, so they're always going to be monumental.
And I'm going off two albums here: Mob Rules with Dio and Paranoid here with Ozzy. I guess what I'm saying is I don't understand why this band is the gold standard of heavy metal, because their music's just not there for me. When you compare it to Priest and Kiss and AC/DC and Aerosmith, these other bands have so much better songs.
It's deep, it's dark, it's fucking evil. It's attractive. Anything dark and evil is attractive. It doesn't matter, the good guy or the bad guy. Which one's always more attractive? Think about it.
Well, I can think about it. I'm not attracted to things that sound horrible, whether they're dark or not. Otherwise, I'd be a death metal fan.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. It was just a thought. I knew you guys would kind of all miss my point and try to put, little nuances. Well, then if this had, no, I'm not saying that. We got it. It's over. Whatever. I think Black Sabbath is just another one of many bands if they start with the competition that came a few years later. That's my opinion. Scott, number 8 of this album.
Number 8 of this album. And here I am, you fuck face, he's got me defending this band like it's one of my favorite bands. Fucker. But anyway, anyway, I'm going with a song that I've never liked and I've never understood. And Pantera redone this song, and they said, "Well, if you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. Fuck you." You know, and that's what they say on the CD. But I don't understand it. Planet Caravan, one that I've never got. I never got it. I know they was doing heavy shit. These guys were doing shit, bro.
That was a
Most
flat
of
out
these
ass
songs-
trip.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Where do you think fairies wear boots come from? Where do you think these songs really come from? This shit's real. They seen shit like it. Planet Caravan, you got me, brother. You ought to see the damn video. Anytime you want to trip without tripping, go pull up Planet Caravan music video by Pantera, and you will fucking feel like you just watched Pink Floyd The Wall. But anyway, it's just too there's nothing there. It's just just through the whole thing, and the echoes, it's a trip. I think they might have spit that out for the hippies at the time. Don't know, but I ain't never liked it.
Lewis.
All right. Well, this particular song is something I honestly had to look up the song to find out there was a different vocalist on it because he sounds so different than the rest of the album. But it is sung by Ozzy. And you could guess mine, number 8 is also Planet Caravan because like I said, I don't hate all ballads. But when I listen to Black Sabbath, I don't expect any ballads. That's just not their territory. Even if they did it well, they don't belong doing it. And like I said, I prefer country ballads over rock ballads because country ballads are more beautiful and they really rip your soul apart when you listen to them. They'll have you in tears, where a lot of times rock ballads just kind of bore me. So, yeah, Planet Caravan, number 8.
All right. I probably went a different direction than most people. I have Iron Man.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. It's that shit Planet Caravan. It's strange, spacey, psychedelic, unintelligible vocal. And I think it may have been recorded underwater, or maybe that's just me. I don't know. But Caravan was that fucking F. It sucked.
Dave, you've been pretty quiet.
Country ballads to me are about your dog getting run over by a tractor, so there's nothing great about a country ballad.
Yeah.
But I've also gone with Planet Caravan. The only notes I've got is just it sounds like a hippie tune and it's completely fucking boring.
All right. Wow, how do you guys really feel about Planet Caravan? My number 8 is going to follow a very strict formula. If you put an instrumental on an album,
I know what it is.
whether it's good or not, it's going at the end. And every band seems to, especially back then, want to attempt some instrumental jam session. And this one sucks just like every other one. It's crap. Is this Tony Iommi? Is that the fucking drummer?
No, Bill Ward.
No, that's
Bill
Bill
Ward.
Ward.
Okay, Bill Ward needs to learn how to play drums to add more than just drum fills. That's literally all this album is. On every song that goes completely off the fucking rails on the heavy side, he's just doing one fill after another. It sounds like that annoying kid in the guitar store who sits on the drum kit and just starts pounding away. It's fucking horrible on top of being instrumental.
What song is that?
Rat Salad.
I think Rat Salad's got words.
Huh?
I think Rat Salad.
No, it doesn't. No.
Oh, okay.
Like 2.5 minutes of shit.
Well, that little opening thing is, I guess, where Golden Earring got the Radar Love part from Boom.
That song sucks too.
Boom. I know you don't like that song. But I'm just saying they got it. They must have got it from that song.
Whew.
All right.
Number 7. Well, I really don't have to say too much. Rob already has. This is something right here that I can tell that Darren, Lewis, and Dave want a lot of rat salad, man. And I'm telling you, man, this is just a jam session of shit. Like Rob says, now I will agree with him on this because all it is takes. That's all it sounds like. It's takes. And it sounds like they just, even if they didn't splice them together, it was a take for something and they just decided to keep it with no words. That's all it sounds like. And them trying to pull off Led Zeppelin.
Moby Dick.
Yes, which came out the same year.
That's the first damn thing that came to my mind when he started going nuts on the drums. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're not Led Zeppelin, you're not Bonham, knock it off.
Same year as that Moby Dick came out. This one came out. So first, I don't know which one, but it's just noise, and that's all. That's all I got.
Louie.
Well, I'm going to come back to you guys. I'm off in a different world. Okay, I'm back. For me, number 7, this song drove me insane because I didn't know what to think of it. It sounded like they put 3 or 4 songs together and I couldn't make up their mind which way to go to give it a good blend. Hand of Doom.
Which song?
Hand of Doom. That song drove me insane. I didn't know what to think of it. So I automatically got number 7 just because it bothered me so much.
All right. Number 7, I am normally right there with Rob on the standard rule of if it's instrumental, it's going to get put at the bottom, but Planet Caravan was just that bad. That rat salad earned a 7. So I I do think this was Bill Ward's answer to Moby Dick, trying to keep up with Bonham. Definitely not in the same weight class. Bill Ward is not in the weight class of John Bonham. So rat salad, number 7.
Dave.
Number 7 for me. I've got 2 notes. It says I'd rather eat one. Listen to this again. And the only reason it beat Planet Caravan is because it was 2 minutes shorter.
All right.
That is a bonus.
What's that?
That is a bonus that it was shorter.
Yeah. All right. My number 7 is going to jive up with Louis. Hand of Doom. First thing that struck me with this, as basically the proclaimed first metal band, they might have also been the first grunge band. This song had a lot of what grunge sounded like, the heavier grunge stuff when that came out. But like Lewis said, there's like 2 or 3 songs here wrapped up into one. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's just kind of a clusterfuck. So that's number 7.
Yeah, there are a lot of minor key, have in grunge, but it's also got hints of blues, like Scotty.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all over the place.
Yeah, it is. It's like bukkake. It's just from a bunch of different people. Yeah. Right,
Scotty.
All right. My number 6 is a song that I think pretty much all of you guys should be in tune with. Y'all should know this one. It's I don't know. It's just something about this song. It's the album title, Paranoid.
What?
It's just, I don't know what it is about that song.
Are you being serious? I was going to say, Jesus Christ.
They didn't nobody say that. I guess they was thinking I was serious, but anyway. No, this has got to be somebody on the panel's favorite song, Electric Funeral. Electric Funeral. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Nah, fuck yeah, I don't like that one, never have. I hate the chorus on this song. It wouldn't be bad, half bad, if it wasn't for the damn chorus on this damn song. I mean, damn, guys, I know you're tripping out, but I know somebody half-ass straight should be listening to the playback on here. Really? No. Electric Funeral. Number 6, dude.
All right.
Okay. Number 6 for me. Because of me not liking Planet Caravan and Hand of Doom more than I hate the next song, because also I put it at number 6 because of its time span. It's not that long. It's what to call you all the time? Rat Salad. Yeah, Rat Salad, because the time length, all that, and the other 2 songs I think are even worse. And I kind of like instrumentals, but it's not why I chose this particular one. You know, it's just that the other 5 songs going upwards are better than that.
All right. For me at number 6, I know a couple of you had it, I believe, at number 7, and that is Hand of Doom. Again, it is at least 2 different songs in here. It's got hints of prog rock, but I think the 2 different themes that you would get in the song, it's war and heroin use, right? I mean, or a mash or amalgamation of those 2. It is just 2 all over the place. So that's what I had at number 6, Hand of Doom.
Dave, you look less than thrilled tonight. What the fuck's going on?
Well, the first half of the album is pretty crap, so just got to get through this bit, you see. So,
Yeah.
Number 6, I agree with Scotty, Electric Funeral. This is a song I think would have been better as an instrumental.
Yeah, probably.
Take the vocals out, it's probably a much better song. So,
Electric Funeral.
it's starting to clear. It's slowly coming away. So, you'll be right.
Okay. Whether it is Jack the Stripper or Clooney's Wear Boots, this is a terrible fucking song.
Oh, God.
It's just noise to me with some verses thrown in there. Again, I'm not going to get back into my long, winded fucking how the fuck is this band so big, but it's another song that speaks to my point.
Okay. Number 5. And it's this one. This one here is. This one's really good. This is the best half right here. I'm done with the shit songs. Number 5 for me, a song I've always loved, and it's just been just a rock and roll all night and shook me all night long. Y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. Iron Man. Now, it's fantastic. It's got a good beat. It's a good, I love the guitars on it, man. I always loved this song. But if there's one song that's been overplayed by Black Sabbath, it's this one. And it's on all the time. But I still love it. It's my number 5.
Louis.
Okay, number 5 is a song that I consider to be the transitional song on our list in between what's the best and what's the worst or whatever. I find that Electric Funeral is the transition song between. It's not as bad as what I picked before, and it's certainly not as good as the other things I like better. And not just because it's in the middle of the list, but that's the song that fits that category the way it sounds, the way it is. So yeah, Electric Funeral number 5.
All right, I'm matching up with Louis on this. I also have Electric Funeral number 5. This is another, I feel it has hints of prog rock. It's definitely one of the 2 of the heavier tunes on here. Dark lyrics. It's like post-apocalyptic. Has that distorted lead riff in a macabre tone, right? I mean, kind of gruesome. I definitely disagree with Louis on this being a transitional. I'm still, knee deep in the crap section here. It's getting closer to being some of the better stuff, but still, Electric Funeral was a easy pick at number 5.
Dave.
Number 5, I got Hands of Doom. All I put here was, thank God they're slowly releasing my neck, because the first half was just shocking. Seriously, I can't believe I used to love this album. I can't believe I did.
Yeah, man. I know.
Number 5 for me, Electric Funeral. This song is very different. I have, in fact, uniquely terrible in the description. Singing to the guitar for the verses is more than maddening. It's annoying. And I got to borrow a Bull Durham, reference here, like Nuke Lelouch fucks like he pitches sort of all over the place. That's where this song is. Just really has no point. It's terrible.
It's the end of time, bro. Okay. Number 4. A fantastic fucking song that y'all all shit and wipe your freaking asses with. And just because it's long as hell does not make it good or bad. I said that wrong.
Yeah, you were right the first time.
When it comes to this band, the longer the worse.
Wait a minute. There's part of it that's the rocking part is good when he starts out. You must be blind. They start just rocking out of nowhere. I love this fucking song, man. I'm a fan of long songs, man. I love Master of Puppets. I mean, come on, dude. Yes, I love the transitions in this song. I love the musicianship.
So I can't take anything you say at face level. So.
Oh well, with your exception, the rest of them just fucked it up. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, man, Hand of Doom is fantastic, man. I'm surprised they were actually able to pull this song off.
Says who?
Considering some of the other stuff on here when they was strobing out like he was, they may have cut and spliced this one. But anyway, I like it. Almost 8 minutes long, dude. It's rocking. It's got its slow down. The yeah, give it to me all day. I love it. Hand of Doom, number 4.
Louis.
Yeah. Okay, this is where the songs get better. But the 4 remaining songs is obviously going to be a matter of opinion, where we go 4, 3, 2, and 1. And out of the 4 remaining, War Pigs is my choice. Just that kind of a song's got a, spooky opening, whatever, with that siren noise or air raid siren noise and all that. And I have the Black Sabbath reunion live, and they open their show up with that song. So, I'm just really annoyed I can't upload my Black Sabbath live album on the YouTube, because I really did a good job fixing that album, but they can't. So War Pigs number 4, and there's not much more to say than that.
All right, at number 4, and this is in my notes where the song starts to get tolerable, and that is the Jack the Stripper or Clooney Wears Boots. Again, it's not a great song. I think I had this at a C+, and that may have been a stretch. To me, this one just when you compare it to the rest of the songs on this album, this one felt out of place. This one just felt different than the other 7, and not necessarily in a good way. It just felt like it was, I don't know, other than Planet Caravan and whatever they were on or experimenting with at that point. Jack the Stripper benefited from. Maybe they were clean for 6 hours, and this one sounded better. But that's really all I can say about it. It's not horrible, but it's not the greatest. The top 3, other than Scott and Louis, I'm not sure how some of those top 3 on my list fell below that. But again, it's our own opinions.
Yeah.
So what's your number 4?
Jack the Stripper, Fairies Wear
That's
Boots.
right.
Down under.
Hey,
So are you saying fairies seem out of place, Darren, or just the song itself?
Just the song.
Okay. Yeah, my number 4 is also Fairies Wear Boots. This is a bit nostalgic. I always like the tempo of this song. So it's not as good as the other 3, but it's the first of the songs I would listen to and not skip if it came on. So I'll start smiling a bit more now.
My number 4, I finally have something positive to say. War Pigs and or Luke's Wall. I don't know what Luke Skywalker has to do with this, but whatever.
it's the
I
instrumental
like,
ending.
huh? What?
The instrumental ending. That's what they call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the evil intro, like Lewis. Which, by the way, Lewis touched on. This is one of the most famous Ozzy verses. You hear it everywhere, just with that, and he's doing that in that amazing, only Ozzy can do voice, and then it just goes off the fucking rails once the music starts. If they would have done something, and I know they tie that back in at the end, but if they would have, I don't know, they need to rework the tempo of the song to match kind of what he was doing. Instead, it just goes into this, for lack of a better way of explaining it, just fucking noise again. But it definitely, that's one of Ozzy's best works on a fucking verse that I've ever heard. It just musically doesn't work with that.
Wow, that's the first time I've ever heard that put that way, but damn.
Well,
right.
it just doesn't fit to me. It just doesn't.
Okay. That's cool. All right, number 3. This is Jack the Stripper. I never knew that was on there until I looked at my CD. I must have had albums back in the day that didn't have those on them, because I happened to look at my CD and it's got Jack the Stripper and Luke's Wall. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But anyway, I love Fairies Wear Boots. This, Darren, you're correct. You're absolutely correct. This is about their past acid trip writing this album, that what we've been through. They're probably half-assed straight, maybe smoking some weed, maybe drinking a little bit while they're doing this one. Having to get took to the doctor's office, it's too late for this motherfucker. He's already fucked. He's seeing fairies with boots dancing with dwarves outside. For fuck's sake, he's done gone too far. Listen to the lyrics, dude. It's it's about a trip, is what it is. And beautifully put too, if I do say. I mean, that would be one hell of a song to write about even remembering part of what the hell you hallucinated in 12 or 13 hour times. That's about how long a LSD trip lasts. But fucking great song. I love the tempo to it, man. Yeah, great song. Fairies Wear Boots.
Brought to you by Scotty, our resident drug expert. Lewis.
Okay. Okay. This song here, I knew about the song when I was about 9 or 10 years old, I guess, maybe more like 11. I never actually heard the song, but a friend of mine, his brother had the Black Sabbath album, and he put the needle on the part that I'm going to mention. Hence, this is how I got my screen name for this video. He just played the part when you hear, I am Iron Man, whatever. You know, and I thought we all thought it was supposed to be the Marvel comic superhero Iron Man. We had no idea it was, we thought it was a song about him. And then when I finally heard the song in my teen years or my whatever, I thought he was saying, Ozzy lost his mind. So that's why I put that up. But number 3 for me, Iron Man, I got to say, one thing I like about the Black Sabbath version as opposed to the Speak of the Devil version, they take out that whole jam session out in the Ozzy version and go straight into Children of the Grave, but that's a different story, and I'll save that for another time. But so, yeah, Iron Man is pretty cool. It's good enough to hit number 3 for me. That's it,
Yeah.
All right. Number 3 on my list is the song War Pigs. I do like that slow churning opening and that engaging cymbal, light little clap in there. Although I think the sped up portion does make good use of the 12th, the upper 12th fret on the guitar neck, but that's where it kind of loses me. But it's still iconic. I've probably enjoyed this song more by when other artists have done it, but it's still a good song. So War Pigs is number 3.
Davey.
Yeah, just a bit of trivia. So only on the North American editions did War Pigs and Fairies Wear Boots have the extra titles in there. So on the normal versions that the rest of the world got, it was just as you know. And according to Wikipedia, this album only sold 20,000 units in Australia, so it was really popular. My number 3 is War Pig. Once again, love the opening. The way Ozzy delivers that vocal is, as you said, is classic. Now, the first time I ever heard this was actually a radio edit, so they didn't have all that long jam at the session. It was only like 3.5, 4 minutes long, so maybe that would be a better version of the song anyway, I think. So, yeah, number 3, War Pigs, good song.
Okay, number 3, every last one of you shit on this extremely early. Planet Dodge Caravan.
No fucking way.
Yeah, when I first put this on, I was thinking, oh, hell no. And then I listened to the rest of the album, and that oh, hell no turned to, I guess I don't sound half bad. So I listened to it again, and I like meditation music. And that's kind of, I know this is acid trippy, but I can get behind that. Ozzy, yeah, sounds like he's underwater. Ironically, Darren makes the comment, well, his microphone tonight sounds like he's underwater.
It's the same one I've used it's the built-in one. It's the same one I've been using the last 4 or 5 episodes.
I can hear him, so I didn't say nothing about it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say I didn't want to go through a whole production thing. As long as I can hear him, what it is muffled, like you're pillow biting. That's all right. Now, the other thing, you guys, I can't understand what Ozzy's saying. How is that different than any song Ozzy has ever sung? So that part of it doesn't matter to me. It's like trying to figure out what the hell Lemmy's saying. He's just one of those guys. Even on his most awesome vocals, he kind of doesn't really enunciate. He just throws word salad out there, and it sounds good. I don't mind it because it's a good song to sit and chill to, especially considering most of the fucking noise that this album had to offer. It made that normally shit song sound better. Guys, I got 2 songs that I can listen to, and they're my number 1 and 2, and never, ever have they been or will they be on a playlist. So,
hey, brother, you're not alone, man. There's a lot of people likes that song, dude. It's not just us, but hell, Pantera redone the fucking song, bro. and it ain't sped up either.
Pantera redid Planet Caravan.
Yes.
Holy
Yes, and made
shit.
a fucking music video of the damn thing too.
Wow.
It's fucking crazy, but it's just watch it for the video. You'll trip out on that even if you don't like the fucking song. But anyway, yeah, I did
think
not see
the
that.
reason why Planet Caravan has like the fourth most listens on Spotify is because people listen to the first four songs to get War Pigs, Paranoid, and Iron Man, and the Planet Caravan gets caught in there because then the listens drop off beyond that, right?
Oh, well, make no mistake. I didn't say I like the song. I
I
said
know.
it's better. It's better than the rest of the crap on here.
I heard that comment. All right, Scott.
And that was your number 3.
Yes.
Okay, number 2. Oh yeah, these two here are absolutely monumental fucking songs and perfect songs and absolutely powerful songs. When they have been redone, when he's does them live, Ozzy live is fucking theater, bro. He is fucking on point with everything, and I love him for that. He sounds just like listening to Speak of the fucking Devil, bro. He's perfect. It's amazing that somebody that fucked up can pull that shit off, but he does. And so does whoever the hell's playing with him does too. They don't get faster, slower, same momentum. War Pigs, number 2, fantastic beginning. I love Ozzy's verses in here. So just death, destruction. The War Pigs is going to pay, freaking God has struck the hour. Satan spreads his wings and laughs because he's getting ready to take all these war-hungry bastards to hell. I mean, this is absolutely in 1971, bro. And of course, I didn't hear this in 1971. It was about probably 77. I think we sold our souls for rock and roll. You remember that one, Lewis?
I remember that phrase, but I don't know who coined. Wait a minute, what band did that album?
It's
The
78,
Beatles.
I think, Black Sabbath's greatest hits album at the time. It's the first
I
time I heard
thought
War
another
Pigs.
band did a song called that.
No, Black Sabbath put out We Sold Our
Oh.
Souls for Rock and Roll in
All right.
1978, 77 one. But anyway, they're all took off of the original albums. They're not redone. They're produced better. They're like double platinum with Kiss or something, But War Pigs is phenomenal. And the jam in between, Rob, I don't know what the hell. That is Tony Iommi solo is out of this fucking world. I mean, dude, that is so unbelievable. Just fucking musicianship, especially for them. I mean, I know Led Zeppelin was probably just sitting there thinking, what the fuck? But anyway, fucking fire. One of my favorite songs by Black Sabbath, War Pigs, number 2, fantastic.
Before I get to my number 2, something I didn't mention with War Pigs is the middle of the song. I guess everyone's got an opinion of what a guitar solo is or is not or should be or shouldn't be. It's not a bad solo, but to me, it sounded like a generic, like on a TV episode rock band solo to me. That's why I didn't think it was so great. It's just okay. But for me, I'm the only one putting this song as high as it is, and that's okay because it's my opinion. I like the beat, the tempo, and all that other stuff. I like Fairies Wear Boots. I don't care if Fairies Wear Boots or not, but I like the song. So that's
Hell
number
yeah.
2.
All right. For me at number 2, this is where I slide the song Iron Man in. I think it still has that iconic sound. I think it's a little bit more lighthearted. Kind of feels more like an abstract sci-fi movie that you're in. But I like it. But it also reminded me of, and I was trying to find it online. I haven't found it yet, but I remember when I worked in a music store in the early to mid 90s. there was an Ozzy box set that had him doing a version of Iron Man, only it's the disco version, and he says, "I am Disco Man," and then breaks into a disco version of Iron Man. It was some outtake or whatever, but it was pretty fucking funny. Did a good job with it, but yeah. So Iron Man is my number 2.
Dave.
First of all, some of the village people wore boots, Louis, so definitely fairies did wear boots. And I assume, Rob, we're going to do Mamas and Papas next, since you're so into that hippie music. So,
Mamas and papas.
sounds good to me. Anyway, so number 2 for me is Iron Man. I've always loved this song from when I was a kid. The only disappointment for this song was the fact it wasn't in the Iron Man film.
Right.
I
It was in
waited
one.
for that to be in the Iron Man film, and it wasn't there. So that's disappointing. But this it's just a great song, iconic. Could have swapped
It was
the
in
first
one.
one, but no, it
It
certainly
was in
wasn't in the
one,
first
too.
one. It wasn't in the first one. AC/DC was, but
Yeah, it had to be the second one in. Yeah, it's definitely a soundtrack. Whether it's running,
You know-
whether it's on the credits, it's on one of them, man. Yeah, I just
I thought
can't
AC
remember
I just
exactly.
thought
I thought
he came out of that
AC/DC
cave.
was a-
He should have. When he came out of that cave, that song should have been playing. Would have been perfect.
I'll have to look it up, but I think AC/DC was with the third Iron Man movie.
No, first
Second
one.
Second?
No, first one when he's sitting in the Jeep with all the guys, and the Jeep gets blown up.
Well, in the
Darren?
second one, when it's getting ready to go off, Highway to Hell starts playing.
All
It's
right.
a Marvel. Let's do a Marvel episode.
Darren's got what you're looking for.
So the track listing on the first soundtrack for the movie Iron Man, we have so a song called Iron Man from an artist John O'Brien and Rick Boston. I'm not
Oh
sure.
shit!
I'm not sure if that is anything similar to the Black Sabbath version,
Yeah,
but it's
it
got
is.
no, I don't see AC/DC on the first one.
That's why I'm going to get Iron Man out now and start watching it so I can show you.
Whether it made the soundtrack or not doesn't mean it's not in the movie.
Right.
I've got the damn CD, man, and
I'll
I'm
watch it
telling
real
you.
quick.
No. I'm talking about. I've got the DVD too, but I've got the CD. It's the Iron Man soundtrack.
Oh, the soundtrack? Okay.
Yeah, it's on there, but like it might be like the Kiss movie, where people done on the CD. Highway to Hell's played in Detroit Rock City by AC/DC, but guess who does it on the fucking CD? Marilyn Manson.
The soundtrack is all AC/DC.
Mm.
Shoot the Thrill,
Oh,
Rock and
part
Roll
two.
Damnation, Guns for Hire, Cold Hearted Man,
Yeah.
Back, Thunderstruck. If you want blood, you've got it. Evil Walks, TNT, Hell Ain't a
Oh, so that's 2 complete soundtracks they've done with Maximum Overdrive for Who
Yeah.
Made Who.
Have a Drink on Me, The Razor's Edge, Let There Be Rock, War Machine, and Highway to Hell. So
Yeah, man.
15 AC/DC tunes for that one. And the third one,
I don't think there was any in the third one.
I don't know about that.
Didn't Adele do the third soundtrack?
And that was my favorite movie.
no, it looks like there's no artists listed on that, so that might just be all instrumental.
Just
Like,
yes.
You having fun there, Rob?
anyway,
All right.
Louis, you're number 2?
Hold on a second. I was
No.
looking at something.
No,
No, it's Rob.
Where are we at?
Rob,
It's mine
It
number
might-
2.
Oh, all right.
Wait a minute. I didn't. Oh yeah, no, that's right. We've been. I'm fine.
Iron Man. That legendary guitar riff I knew long before I knew who Even Kiss was. I had no idea who sang it, played it, couldn't give a shit less. It was the opening ring entrance song to my favorite tag team of all time, the Road Warriors, way back in AWA/NWA. I've known that song forever with that iconic makeup, stud wearing, big muscle, beefy, just destroying machines coming to the ring. So I've always been a sucker for that riff and that intro, I Am Iron Man, and it still holds up today. It's just a great fucking song.
Hawk and Animal.
Yes, sir.
I was a Four Horsemen fan, but I did like the Road Warriors too. That's how long it's been since I watched wrestling.
Me too.
I hate it. After that, it got
Yeah.
stupid, crazy, and yeah. Okay, the number one song on this album, and for good reason. I've always loved it. It's a fantastic bass riff. Everything is Paranoid. The self-titled freaking song, the album title, it is fucking fantastic. Ozzy does a great job singing it. They do a great, the tempo, just dun, 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 the interchanges, dun, 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 just love it, man. Love it. Number one.
Louis.
Oh, I was expecting a longer diatribe. I want to say one thing to Dave. Kiss wears boots. What do you got to say about that?
Good one, Louis. Oh, shit.
Oh,
Anyway,
So
Batman and
I wear
Superman wear boots too. All
you've got to
right.
wear their underpants on the outside as well. But
Now, obviously, unless I don't remember anyone else mention this, I think this is going to be a 5-vote sweep. Paranoid. My favorite song on the album's got the good energy and sing along. You could understand, I guess, most of the words or almost all of them. I have to recheck to make sure I'm hearing like it reads what I think I hear. But yeah, Paranoid. That's why it's such a big radio hit. It was the best thing they pulled from the album. I don't know what the sales were in the U.S. or whatever, but I'm sure it was more than 20,000 units. And I think that put it up at, a bigger
4
selling
million.
thing here.
Yeah, I think it was 4 times.
million.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
anyway, so that's all I have to say about Mr. Paranoid.
Yep. Paranoid for me as well. Definitely has that iconic riff. And when you compare this song to the other 7, this is a rebirth for your senses. This song is just heads and shoulders above the rest of the stuff on here. Easy choice for number 1. Plus, it's only 2 minutes and 48 seconds. So I think they added 5 minutes onto this, it'd probably fall towards the end. I mean, turn this into a 7-minute song, that wouldn't help it. But at 2:48, it's a good tune.
Ring the
Dave?
bell, number 1, Paranoid. Yeah, great opening riff. And to me, this is the most normal structured song they've got on the album. So this actually flows like a normal song. So I think it makes it enjoyable. So yeah, easily number 1.
Paranoid, the guitar riff, the rolling beat. This is truly the Ozzy I know vocally. It's an absolute headbanger and easily Black Sabbath's best song ever by any singer that they've had in their band. And I haven't even heard them. I'm that confident. If you mention Dio, I'm going to fucking come down there and slap you.
Which one, Neil? Scott? There's a song called Heaven and Hell's pretty good.
My favorite. Yeah. It's one of my favorite Ozzy's. That's for sure. Yeah.
And Rob, the reason I probably look so depressed is I've been listening to Queen of the Murder Scene for the last few days, and then I had to listen to this album.
Put the
And it was a
pills
bit of a bummer.
away, and I know it's a major letdown, but
It was.
yeah. Now, speaking of which, Lewis asked me, where are you on your, are you done with
On
Queen of the Murder Scene? Huh?
Yeah, it's difficult to rank, I tell you.
Well, we're going to discuss it. We're not going to rank it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
we can
rank it
give
if
a
you
ranking
want, but you
again.
don't have to. I will because I
Yeah.
like to ruffle feathers, but
Oh, there'll be no feather ruffling. It's a great album, but yeah, just sometimes when you got a really good album, that's what makes it difficult to rank.
yeah.
Yeah, so if you got
But
no,
this one was easy because it had 4 shit songs on it, so you've already
Okay.
got your bottom 4.
So what Lewis is asking is, when can he expect to do this video?
When do you want to do it?
Well, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to make sure you were prepared.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll shoot you guys messages off of this. Guys, any closing thoughts on perhaps one of the most overrated heavy metal bands of all time?
I can only request that we try not to do another one of their albums.
Well, I'm sorry. I hope you made it this far through, Mike. This was suggested, one of many suggestions, from Mike Gianni. I think I'm saying that right. Wanted Man 66 at live.com. He suggested several albums. Yeah, so there you go. He recommended Black Sabbath, Ozzy, and then I put it out to Scott. Scott picked this one. So hand in hand, Mike, there you go. I hope I didn't piss you off too much. I know the other guys were a lot easier on it than I was. So
They do have a great album with Ian Gillan singing.
Yeah, they do. And another thing, are you seeing a kind of a stamp print with bands in the 70s like Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, even later on with Van Halen that you love so much? The couple of albums that are kind of a blueprint for what's going on. Let's make some great songs, and we'll throw some experimental shit on here type bands,
and amazingly enough, towards the late 80s, people were getting pissed with bands putting a couple of good songs on it and the rest was filler when it came to hair metal. These motherfuckers were all doing it way back in the 70s too.
Yeah, the early 80s was really, I think, the best time.
Yeah.
Full album. Late 80s, it kind of got back to this.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well,
but we'll get into that some other time. But yeah, man, it's a monumental album that stood the test of times. It's kind of transformed what we all love today and what we loved in the late 70s, 80s. A lot of influence, man, from a lot of those bands that we love more. Zeppelin too. Cooper, all these guys are kind of the blueprint setters right there for pretty much everything.
Like I said, it wasn't definitely not an album I'd listen to again, but I like that I've heard it just because some of this iconic shit that I've ignored my whole life, I want to say I've heard it at least once. So,
yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Ozzy put out an album a long time ago. Actually, it was recorded a long time ago. I don't know what the official release date is, but it was a tribute to Ozzy Live, a tribute to Randy Rhoads.
Yeah.
I abstained and stayed away from that album for so long because I thought it would just be a bunch of artists to pay tribute to Randy Rhoads. I did not know it was a live album of Ozzy's original album material for like his first 2 albums or something like that.
And it was fucking amazing live album.
It's a very good live album. And it's like, wow, why did they just call this Ozzy Live or something like that? When they said a tribute to Randy Rhoads is what threw me off. I thought it was not Ozzy alone. I thought it was all these different artists coming together, at different points and made this album. had I known it was a direct Ozzy live album with Randy Rhoads, I would have bought it a long time ago.
When that album came out and they put that video out, that fucking song was everywhere. It's one of the first songs I ever learned to play on an electric guitar.
I don't know the video. Which song is that?
Crazy Train.
Oh, Crazy Train. I only know the other version with the.
It's so much more powerful on that album than it is the original, because the production is shit on Ozzy's first 2 albums, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, gentlemen, I have next. Yays or nays, who's in or not, the best female rock songs. I chose 10. Some legendary, some newer, that I have discovered through my reaction channel back last year. I think they're all strong songs, with exception of one, which I won't tell you which one I think is not a strong song. But a lot of these artists are very, very legendary, as you can see. A lot of new school, a lot of old school. So I figure we'd mix it up and bring some estrogen into the podcast.
Was that before or after the Queen of the Murder Scene?
That's separate, dude. I'll talk to you and Dave about that. We'll do that on our own like last time.
Okay.
So everybody here, do you want in on the Women of Rock?
Yeah, I'll take a listen.
Always in on women.
What'd you say, Lewis?
Hell yeah.
I said I'll take a listen to the songs because you sent me the list.
Yep.
And we're just gonna rank them, right?
Yeah. No rush. Next week, take the weekend off and just chill. And I'll communicate with you and Dave probably tomorrow I'll let you guys choose what works for you for the warning video.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, keep brainstorming on Kiss stuff, because I know you keep putting off that ballad thing. So I could do more Kiss trivia. I could pit a couple Kiss albums against each other, unless you got a topic.
You can probably pit a couple of albums together or the ballad thing, but you'll have to get the list of the ballads, what you would call ballads.
Yeah, Dave came up with it, and that's why I want to get it done, because he even named it the Slow Down Showdown, which is fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'd just like to get that one done, since it's been on my list now for a while, and then we can go from there.
Man.
I like the Kiss content to keep rolling. I will send you the list that Dave sent me. You can add or let me know if there's anything we're missing. Tom's already got it. He's working on it. I think I sent it to Lewis already. Darren, I think I sent it to Darren. Yay or nay? No?
Yeah, for the women, I'm in on it.
No. You're not even listening. The Kiss ballads. Yeah. Did I send you the list?
No, you did not send me that.
Okay. I will resend everybody the list except Dave, of course, who created the list. And we'll go from there. But let's plan on doing Women of Rock sometime early next week. I'll get with Darren around Sunday to make sure his availability, and then I'll let the rest of you know. Lewis and Dave, I will get a hold of you about the warning. And I guess we could have done all this off of air.
We aired it. Well, you can either edit it out or let people skip dirty laundry.
I'm not editing shit out. They can skip it or turn it off. All right. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Tunes, brothers, smashing